Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is James Caldwell and I am speaking for Spill It Boy. This has been a long time coming. Now, I have been sitting back kind of watching from afar, is what I would say. I wasn't watching real closely to the Braxton family values. Not in the way that I do when I'm going to actually review a show. I don't watch them like that. I don't. My mom watches them and I'll kind of see some things and I keeps it moving. Well, I've gotten requests from you guys for me to do the Braxton. So, whenever I love you guys. So whenever you guys ask, I will definitely try to do it. And there's been quite a few of you who have actually asked me to do it. So, here we go with the Braxtons. And I hope you guys don't get upset with me, but let's just start right out by saying I find them a bit ridiculous. So I'm just going to put that out there now. I've always been a Toni Braxton fan when she first came out and all of that stuff. And Tamar's cool, but as far, they're just, whatever. Let's just go through this. So this is season 4, episode 1. We start right off. It's Tamar's birthday. So they're all the girls and the mother and the father are down in New York because Toni's going to be doing this Broadway show. So here we are in New York. They're hanging out earlier in the day. Toni's not there. It's Tamar's birthday. So the scene was very contrived. It was real contrived. It was very reality TV. I'm like, who wrote this? Okay. So Tamar's basically being Tamar extra and going on about, well, who bought me a gift? And this, that, thing, and the other. And it's like, girls, sit down. Have 4 seats, Tamar. Sit down. But just Tamar. She's being Tamar. So I get through that and I'm like, see, I don't know about this. So we're like, cool. So we're watching. Then they go cake shopping for Tamar. It's the other sisters and the mother. And also Braxton Sr., who keeps flirting at Evelyn. He's just flirting with her and hugging her and carrying on. I'm laughing. And she's like, man, your wife is going to kill you. And I'm like laughing at Evelyn. Because they're just the best of them too. They're cool, to watch, but they're messy, and he's messy. He has proven over the seasons to have been quite messy, that damn Braxton Sr. But anyway, so he keeps flirting with her, but Evelyn's only interested in cake, which I think she has sugar, so she has no business with the shit anyway. But Evelyn wasn't interested in nothing Braxton Sr. was talking about. She was interested in getting some cake up in her mouth. So that scene was kind of funny. Then we move on. They have this party going on for Tamar. Toni basically is not there. So, of course, Tamar basically reads the fuck out of Toni like she always does. And if that's the thing, over the seasons I've found, Toni's just too motherfucking important for my liking. She always has a reason why not to be around the sisters. It's either her health or her this or her that. And I'm not making light of the health problems that Toni runs into, but I get sick of hearing it. It's always, Toni and Tamar are a lot alike. Tamar's just loud with it. And Toni basically is quieter and expects it. Toni expects to be the one with the spotlight on her. Tamar won't settle for not being the one with the spotlight on her. But the two of them I see as a lot alike. I've always seen that. Dating back, I've always said there's a little thing there between that Tamar and that Toni. Tamar wants to be, not so much as to be Toni, but she wants the recognition that Toni has. And you're never going to get it, Tamar. No matter how many rich people you marry, no matter how many singles that you actually get out that do well, you will never be Toni. Just like Toni will never be able to outsing Tamar. It just won't happen. It won't happen. They are the perfect package, but just split up in two bodies. Because Tamar outsings the fuck out of all the sisters. Every last one of them. Tamar has the best vocal talent. And they all know it. Toni has more stage presence than every whore in that family. And they know it. And that's the thing that separates Tamar and Tony. Tamar doesn't have any stage presence. So you'll never become the performer that Tony is because you don't have the stage presence, and you can't. She is a perfect example. You cannot buy stage presence. You either have it or you don't. Tamar doesn't have any stage presence. She gets up on stage and she's just there. She's just there. It's always the wrong clothes, the wrong movements, the wrong, motherfucking wrong. The only thing that's ever right is the motherfucking vocal. But the persona itself is always wrong. Anyway, I told you guys, get mad if you want. This is what I see. I'm just saying. Anyway, she read Tony about not being there. Fair enough. She basically pushed for people to say nice things about her. Like, I was like, she's just so damn extra. So she like pushed for, anybody want to say something nice about me? No, not really, Mrs. Muppet. Nobody got nothing nice to say about you. We here, ain't we? But anyway, they fell into the trap, and they went around and they started saying nice things about, oh, I love you, and blah, 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 blah. They went through the sisters. Then they go down and they get to this guy, Charles, who's known Tamar for quite a few years. And he says, you know, some nice things about her. And he made a comment about, no matter what people say, I don't think that you've changed. I think you're the same Tamar. Well, the sisters started to feel as though he was throwing digs and arrows at them. So naturally, you know, Tawanda spoke up, which ended up being an issue because then Tamar basically defended him. The same shit all the time. It's the same shit all the time. And Tawanda and Tamar they just go at it. You know, it's ridiculous. There was actually a piece in there where that fucking Tawanda, because see, Tawanda doesn't back down as far as everybody else does to Tamar. She'll go at the bitch head on. She said, don't get mad at me because I'm skinny and you're not. And you know that hit home because you know Tamar ain't happy about being a thick girl. Anyway, moving on. They end up going ahead to Tony's show. I thought it was very rude how Tony would say, I don't want them coming backstage and this, that, thing, and the other. You know, it's cool to feel that way. It wasn't cool to say it, though. It really wasn't. It wasn't cool to say it. I was like, this bitch, you know, whatever. Again, too extra, Tony. And then you're doing this little show. She made this mountain out of this molehill. Girl, sunny side of the street. Sing the song and let's go. You know, all this, oh, I'm so nervous. And I'm this, that, and the other. And her performance was quite boring. Because that's where we're at now. Like I said, I used to love Tony Braxton. I got so excited about Tony Braxton back in the day. Tony is just basically boring at this point. Because you can only do so much sultry before we say, okay, so what's next? And we're 10 years past what's next. You know, whatever. The performance was pretty good. What she had to do was cool. It was all right. I'm not going to say I would go spend my money on Broadway to see her. No. But it was cool for what it was. Tamar's ass was reading in the confessional. She said, child, I didn't even know that was Sunny Side of the Street. Child, I didn't know what she was singing at first. But again, that's classic Tamar. She lets Tony have it anytime she gets a chance. So, anyway, they end up going out, you know, to celebrate and all that. And there ends up being an argument, again, this time between Tawanda and Tamar, which is the big blow up, because Tawanda has something to say about the Tamartians. And they were saying, well, what is a Tamartian? Which is really cute. I mean, come on, I'm into YouTube and all that. And we love the people who actually do follow us and take the time to like us. We do. I love talking to you guys. You know, it makes my day. Same thing with her and the Tamartians. I think it's cool. You know what I mean? That people like you enough and they like her enough to even argue about her, you know. But Tawanda said that Tamartian is a rude child on Twitter. I'm just saying. Anyway, they went on. Tamar got mad. started defending the Tamartians, and that's what Tawanda was saying. You're ridiculous. You're literally arguing and fighting with me about people who are your fans that you don't know, and I'm your sister. You know, so they were really having this thing of course, Tony left. You know, she left, and they dispersed. They always disperse. Then they went back to dinner again, and they had this whole thing, and they're trying to fix whatever's going to be fixed, and they just could not get it fixed. It's kind of like their family is just tearing apart. Every season, the fights get worse, like with them. You might have one sister over here that's mad, or one. Now it just looked like they're always biting at each other at this point. But there was a great big blow up at the table. Tamar got up, was like, I'm never arguing with you again. And this, that, and the other. And she went on off, and she walked off because she always starts to walking off. Tawanda snapped out at the end because the only people left at the table was Tawanda, Braxton Sr., oh, what's the sister? The cocksucker sister. Trina, the one that does that had the oral transaction, and the one, see, Lord have mercy. Trina, the ditz. She don't tend to fall out with anybody too much. And then we had the normal sister. Oh, what's that baby's name with the red hair? Tracy. Tracy was there. So Tawanda really, like, snapped. She just snapped. Like, she was sick of the bullshit. She snapped out. She's like banging the table, screaming about nobody cares about her. Fucking glasses are flying. And they're all just kind of looking at her like, we're going to 302 this bitch. You know, but I kind of understood where she's coming from. I really do. I understand where she's coming from. She got up. She left. Tracy went and said, you know, I'm going to go see about my sister, you know. Evelyn is sitting there. I think she was really appalled, like just literally appalled. As she got looked over, and here there's Braxton Sr. and the little cocksucker girl sitting there. And Evelyn's like, child, fuck this shit. I'm out of here, honey. I ain't sitting here with these two goons, honey. And she went on and she left. And they were just, you know, it was just stuck where it was at that point. So at that point, then we had Braxton Sr. and Trina, and he's basically consoling Trina. And I felt real bad for Trina because, like, everybody is dispersed, and she's kind of just there, like, what the hell? Like, this is terrible. You know, this is not going to work. We cannot go on like this, which was true. Now, here I go. I'm getting ready to go get up on my soapbox, and I'm not going to stay up there long, but I understand the way that Tawanda feels, because it's, and I could be wrong, and you guys can, if you think so, because again, remember, I haven't been reviewing this the whole time, but I have been in and out watching this, all 3 of the previous seasons that it was on. I've dealt with a family member who was a lot like Tamar. Growing up, my god sister was very much that way. She was the baby of the family before I came along. Now, I'm 10 years younger than her, but with the other siblings, she's the baby of the family. She has always been extra. Always been extra. That's just part of who she is. We don't hate her for it. It's just who she is. She's always wanted to be the center of attention. She's always been spoiled. She just always was, just always. That's just her. And I don't feel as though my godparents used to address it enough. And she just had a way of just upsetting the whole atmosphere. And she never got into any trouble about it. So she just continued doing it. Now, as they've grown older, that shit doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. You can see it now. They're in their 50s. And you can see it now. She starts up. She upsets the whole goddamn thing. And then everybody else is kind of like, nobody will ever call her out on it. That's the point I'm making. And that's where I came in. See, I was the one that would call her out, and then it would be an issue. But, you know, then I always could go home. So, fuck it. But this is what I see from Tamar. I believe Tamar has always been that person that could upset the atmosphere and there were never any repercussions about it. And you can see it. You can see it. And sometimes I know they love her, but sometimes I think they fucking hate that bitch. And I can understand it. That behavior, not so much hate her, but hate her behavior and her stance and the way she does shit, and how there just can never be a happy moment unless it's all surrounded around her. And that's what I actually see, and that's what makes this program kind of hard to watch, because there are times when I want to reach through the screen and bang the shit out of that goddamn Tamar. And she's going further with it. She doesn't just do that with her family. She does it with other people. There's a goddamn video out online where she's doing a mic toss to some of her fans, and she didn't like the woman's voice. She snatched the mic off of her. Really, bitch? Really? Really? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But she's done it so long. She's gotten away with being out of order so long that she feels that she could just do it. And people are going to call her on it, you know? People are going to call her on it. Ain't nobody else going to eat that shit but them damn Braxton girls. But I believe that's what's going on. So this is basically what went on. I think Tawanda's at her breaking point with the shit. And they didn't say anything about anything. They're still saying, I think Tawanda had a breakdown. I think she reached her melting point. Why is it Tawanda? Why is it Tawanda? Why is she all of a sudden crazy? She ain't crazy. She's sick of that motherfucking Muppet that y'all keep on babying along. I don't know. But you guys asked me to do it. Here we go. We're going to do the Braxtons. I'm going to watch this Braxton Family Value. I hope they can mend this. They need to check that motherfucking Tamar, though. I'm just saying. All right, guys, you can thumbs up or thumbs down the video. You guys know how that works. And you can follow me as Spill It Boy at Twitter. And we'll see what happens. I'll try this again next week. If you guys don't hate me too much after this video, we'll see. Again, I only call what I see. I call it as I see it. Guys, leave me comments at the bottom, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.